Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Bearable Bull here. And I got this aggressively average content for you today. And what is going to be an earth-shattering video. And every single one of you are going to remember why you follow me. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make something abundantly clear right now. The great taking is upon us. David Webb, a former hedge fund manager and Wall Street insider, has blown the lid off a plan that the central bankers have in place to take everything from everybody. It's a scheme of central bankers to subjugate humanity by taking all the securities, bank deposits, and property financed with debt. And ladies and gentlemen, you guys all know this. I've been preparing you mentally for it. And right here, right now, we are in the initial stages of it. With the stock market hitting brand new all-time highs, we are on the horizon of this happening. Bear markets and seismic crashes do not happen out of fear. On the contrary, they come out of the other side of euphoria. And haven't all of you been seeing all the euphoria recently? Guys, this is what I'm going to say. I'm going to start off this video by showing you exactly what their plan is. And I want you to pay extremely close attention to the end of this clip. And specifically when they mention cross-border. And if that sounds familiar.
I think that we're very close to this collapse being triggered. What are the indications for that? Well, most profoundly, what has been done to interest rates and where they are now and the scale of the insolvencies that are out there. They're not being discussed. They're being covered up. The only way that the financial system has not collapsed is that there is a big hidden hand injecting lots of created money directly into the financial markets, holding them up right now, as well as allowing institutions to believe they have downside risk by buying protection in the derivatives market, the combination of those things. So this support, the hidden hand as I call it, can be withdrawn at the time of their choosing. But we're getting late in this process given what's already happened to the interest rates. The other indication of timing is the bank resolution, the documents of the Bank Resolution Authority in Europe. Their planning cycle documents were mandating all of the globally systemically important banks to be ready for solvent wind down at the end of last year, 2022. Now, what they mean by solvent wind down is not wind down of the entire bank on a solvent basis. It will be parts of the bank that will remain solvent. But they've literally mandated that they have to be ready, the biggest banks, to go flat on all of their derivatives positions in a controlled way suddenly. So they've prepared for that. That is operational as of the end of last year. Now, in this year's planning cycle document, they are saying that they are on track to have completed all their work by the end of this year, 2023. So these are indications. To give you another idea of the seriousness of this, they've been running these trilateral exercises with Britain and the EU and the US for 6 of the 7 past years. I think they may have missed a year during COVID, but in these exercises, from the U.S. side, the participants are the U.S. Treasury Secretary, the Chairman of the Federal Reserve, the Chairman of the FDIC, the heads of all these entities in this exercise, which I've never seen before with anything. So they're very, very serious about this. And these exercises are about assuring the cross-border transfer of the collateral when the banks are put into wind down.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, you guys all see the increased probability of a financial crisis is on the horizon, and you're beginning to see the game plan for it. We have the founder of the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, admitting that a Black Swan-like event is on the horizon. And regardless of what it is, I feel like humanity can sense it. The conflicts in Russia-Ukraine are reaching a critical climax of a moment. In the Middle East, tensions are building. And in 2024, I'm predicting that China might make a move on Taiwan. In addition, we have the US elections and political division, with political tensions rising in the States, a very, very real scenario. Guys, all I'm asking you to do is to pay attention, stay vigilant. They are predictive. They have the predictive programming of cyber attacks in our minds. They've discussed and done trial runs of cyber attacks on the financial system with the IMF. They have movies out like Leave the World Behind, talking about a cyber attack, executive produced by the former president. And they also have movies coming out like Civil War 2024. If that's not predictive programming, I don't know what is. And quite literally, if you have the eyes to see, you know that this agenda is at play.
And the last factor I want to mention is resilience, the capability to bounce back, because there will be certainly what we call the black swans, the unpleasant surprises which will come in our way.
Now, guys, I just find that to be so interesting. So much more interesting than all of you can imagine. And I found this post from Retail Stock to be unbelievably interesting as well. And I want you all to do this mental exercise with me. This is an unpopular opinion, but a crash is likely inbound. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, I do understand that I've been stating there will be a bull market for crypto in 2024, and I am bullish in the immediate future heading into 2024. But just like we saw a massive bull run from 2020 into 2021, we saw the C19 crash of March 2020. And I would not be surprised to see a similar style crash to that, leading into the next complete bull cycle. Consider this. Rates are going to be cut to counter negative macros. Go back and look at rate cuts throughout history, and they've always come during downturns and or crises. Have you guys been following layoffs recently? It is a leading indicator, meaning it's a warning sign. In 2008, there was a liquidity crunch, and check what's been happening with the money supply recently. Are you following residential real estate? Basically the most unaffordable it's ever been. Can you say a bubble? Speaking of real estate, what backs several $1 trillion of our bond market? Commercial real estate. And guess what's at a record or near record vacancy rate and foreclosure rate? Commercial real estate. Tracking the price of precious metals? Gold recently tested its all-time highs. Are we really sure it's done? The stock market hit new all-time highs. That's typically what happens before it corrects. Bitcoin and crypto, if we are to believe it's a precious asset, it's signaling a flight to stores of value as well. And ladies and gentlemen, despite the fact that crypto has typically moved upwards or downwards with the stock market, all I'm asking you to do, and listen closely, is to pay attention to see if that happens to deviate this time around, because it is a possibility that I'm leaving room for. And with that, I also find it interesting that the Bank for International Settlements, the central bank of central banks, is having a financial stability cross-border crisis simulation exercise with authorities in 8 countries in sub-Saharan Africa. I just think it's a conveniently timed exercise. I just think that cross-border is a narrative they're going to continue to build that has massive problems, and they will continue to opportunistically name the solution of some high quality or even legal clarity given digital assets like XRP as a solution. Wink, wink, hush, hush, can I say that out loud? Ladies and gentlemen, we're at a critical point. I don't know what else I can say to get it through your head. But if there's one thing I could definitely bring up, it's this. From Flip the Chain, the CFTC chairman speaks out about Gary Gensler and how the crypto laws fit well under commodities other than securities. And with all the regulators, all members of Congress, and even Hester Pierce of the SEC as well going against Gary, I find that there's going to be a nail in the coffin moment for Gensler in regards to him regulating the crypto market.
What do you see as the distinction between the way you think about crypto and the way Gary Gensler thinks about crypto?
Well, you know, we have the products trading on our markets, and I think really, and we've talked about this in the past, it's a matter of what is the investor, what is the buyer of the tokens getting with its purchase of a token, whether it's Bitcoin, ETH, or anything else. And, you know, I've said this very clearly. I've said it many times. I stick to what we have as the legal precedent and what we're seeing on our markets. And, you know, under existing law, many of the tokens constitute commodities. And under this rubric, there is a gap in regulation, and I need Congress to step in. And the fact of the matter is, we've literally been talking about this for years, and we still don't have a regulated environment or a regulated entity.
It's crazy.
But like when you guys get in a room together, is it like a brawl, or is it like we completely agree and we're totally simpatico and it's all cool?
Look, I'll use this stage to just dispel any of that rumor or any of that myth. We get along quite well. We have shared values and shared interests in protecting markets, protecting the U.S. financial ecosystem, and then ultimately protecting customers. It really is figuring out how existing decades-old law fits within this new technology that seems to be changing and ultimately needs a new way of thinking around policy and legislation.
But you guys aren't going out to look.
You know what I find to be the biggest abomination, guys? Every other regulator other than the SEC seems to be fairly reasonable and grounded. And yet, the SEC is the one dishing out lawsuits. The SEC is hindering American innovation in the blockchain space. And I think Tom Emmer says it best. The SEC's policy to provide less clarity to the marketplace instead of more clarity is designed to create chaos, and it will corrupt our greatest capital markets. It is wrong and a clear violation of the SEC's mandate. And the reason he stated this is because CoinDesk reported that Coinbase's petition for a formal crypto rulemaking from the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission was denied on Friday. A blockchain company, arguably the number one blockchain company in the United States, Coinbase, which the SEC allowed to go public on the stock market, requested for clear rules, and the SEC said, fuck you. That is what happened, and that is why I'm so livid. That is why everyone in crypto is so livid. That is why entrepreneurs are moving overseas, and that is why Gary Gensler is the biggest weasel, rat, and criminal amongst these regulators that I've ever seen. He is shameless, and his Mr. Burns looking ass will go down. The truth will set you free, Gary. And the truth is, you've been bought and paid for by the Elizabeth Warrens of the world. And hell, even by the Sam Bankman-Frieds of the world. I'm 110% convinced. And I know everyone watching this video is convinced as well. But now, guys, despite the fact that Gary Gensler is trying his absolute best to be a hindrance to crypto, we in the crypto space are gaining plenty of momentum. And blockchain backer posted an interesting point. Stellar, Tron, and Hedera were 5 block sponsors last year in the Consensus 2023 conference, but only Stellar continues to do a 5 block in 2024. The XRP ledger was not a sponsor at all in 2023, but a 4 block sponsor in 2024, meaning these crypto companies are all gaining traction and looking to gain more space in this conference. Advertising and marketing costs are increasing in crypto, and that is because they know a bull market is returning. And this is what I have to stress. Every single one of you need to prepare now. Get your best high quality, low price crypto as we speak before they take off, and have an exit strategy in place to ensure that all of you can execute with perfection when it's finally time. Guys, I've long been recommending you all get an exit strategy. And now I'm going to recommend my favorite tool that I will 100% be using during the next bull market to execute on my exit plan. Merlin is a crypto tracking app that allows you to input your exit plan into the app. And the best part about it is that through this link that I'm providing in the description below, you'll be able to try it 100% for free. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be one of the most powerful resources every single one of you could use to get more organized for the next bull market. I genuinely view Merlin as a trading view of exit plans, and it's something I've been using that has helped me get extremely organized when planning my future profits. Too many people are disorganized and don't really know what the hell they're going to do the next bull run. But at least with Merlin, you'll be able to have all your coins on one place at one time with your exit targets ready to execute so that you know how much profits you're going to make. There are absolutely no excuses for all of you to not sign up, as it's 100% free for the first month, and I'm making it mandatory for all of you to sign up and try it, because at the very least you'll be able to use the app, understand how much you can make, get a little more organized, and if you don't feel like subscribing, there is a button where you could cancel your subscription 100% for free, no questions asked. There is zero risk involved, and I think all of you will be more prepared for it. Ladies and gentlemen, I find that too many people want to be crypto millionaires, but are unwilling to invest in the resources to help make them crypto millionaires. Hell, I know people wanting to be crypto millionaires that still don't even have an offline wallet. They don't even have a TradingView account, and they wonder why they can't win. This is a resource you can download 100% for free down in the description below that could genuinely help you become a crypto millionaire. And if you really like the service, you can continue to subscribe for later months. Ladies and gentlemen, there'll be a moment in time where I'll be able to share my exit strategy on that app with all of you as well. And as the crypto bull run continues, I think you're all going to appreciate how far the space has come. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Bearable Bull here. Thanks for tuning in. As always, I appreciate every single one of you. Now I'll be back tomorrow with another video.